Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So I didn't know what to label this live stream, and then I realized that this is a new thing I'm doing in my life where I bring around two crucifixes, the violet one and then the icon, literally everywhere with me. I think because when I travel, I don't want to hurt them, and so I keep them in my purse to make sure they don't get, tousled or something heavy on them, destroying them. So I started carrying them in my purse, but I realized it's the most brilliant thing. So I'm gonna talk about all the scenarios where I use the crosses. So number one, there was an All Faiths chapel at the DCA airport, and it was not a chapel at all. It just had like an altar that wasn't even an altar, and it had kind of like a vestment thing with flower print. It didn't have anything holy in it. I mean, it did have books and stuff, and it had a whole like Mormon book section too. So it had Bibles and stuff, but yeah, I felt like, it was white walls. I was expecting there to be a Eucharist, and there wasn't. I'm way too optimistic about life. So then I could just take out, my religious stuff and like look at it, and it feels like a chapel. And also, a lot of churches I go to that don't have a lot of art, you can take your crucifix or your icons out during Mass and talk to them. And that's actually what they did in the Middle Ages. People would be passing around icons through the pews and like looking at the icons and kissing them and stuff. So I'm totally bringing that back into Catholicism. I do that with my boyfriend too. When it was like Augustine Saint Day, we brought the Augustine icon and like an Augustine rosary. We're like handing it back and forth. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys are here. Where do you guys live and what are you doing today? Because I feel like right now is when you guys should be at work, right? So I'm curious, like, what are your guys' jobs? Are you on lunch break? Are you a student? Traditionalist, crusader. Oh my gosh, do you watch Church Militant? One of my friends just texted me that Patrick Coffin was on the Church Militant show. Is that what it's called? The Church Militant show? Patrick Coffin show? First, Angelica. Hi, Catherine. They look good. I love them. Good morning. Good morning, Jacob Herring. Where are you? Where are you living? Good morning, Furry Botello. Good afternoon, Traditionalist Crusader. Just finished my first exam. Oh, so you're a student. Angelica, isn't it summertime? Why are you taking tests? Is it the end of the semester? Okay, I'm from Germany. I'm an English teacher and it's nighttime now. And wait, Rachel lives in, where do you live? It's nighttime. I'm a college student in Florida, and I have an appointment for spiritual direction and confession today. Please pray for my confessor and I. That's so exciting. I went to confession yesterday. So is your priest also your spiritual director? That's why I don't understand. Thanks, potential fatalities. South Korea? Oh my gosh. Okay, I was just, so I was thinking about airlines today because I'm flying Delta right now, and I've never flown Delta before, or I don't remember. And it's so nice because I always fly Southwest just because you can have 2 free bags, and I travel with like giant bags because I'll travel somewhere for like a month, right? So I always have so much and all my filming stuff to carry. But when I was flying out of DC, Southwest does not fly to the DC airport, so I had to choose another flight, and it was so expensive. I was so annoyed. But then I got on the plane and I was like, oh, this is so nice. I understand why people fly this. Where are you going? I'm going back to California, where I live in California. One of my friends from college is getting married. We were suite mates freshman year, so it's so exciting. There were 5 of us who were really close, and one of the 5 of us got married in 2016, and then 2007. I don't know. And so now the second one is getting married, so I don't know who's gonna be next. Probably not me. I don't want to get married anytime soon. Hi Lizzie. Hi Chad. Where are you going? Oh, I answered that. Yep. We meet to do spiritual direction and then confession right after. That's really, really cool to get to talk about your life. My confession yesterday, I confessed something pretty illegal, and I was kind of sketched out like what he would say about it, and he was just like, go pray for God's will for your life for 10 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was about other things too, but I was like very tense about it. It always shocks me how chill they are about really intense things. They just like have zero facial expressions when you're like saying this thing that you feel really horrible about. Hi, you don't need to go to confession with a priest. Have a relationship with Jesus. You already have a direct link to God. Obviously, I was explaining to my friend I was staying with about apostolic succession and confession. So as Catholics, we believe that in confession, the priest is Jesus. So it's no longer the priest there, but Jesus is physically talking to you, listening to you, exuding emotions. It is Jesus. So we believe that the priest brings you physically close to Jesus, and the same with the Eucharist. He transforms the Eucharist into Jesus. So I think that the priest is not in the way of it, but it's bringing you physically to Jesus, not just, you know, mentally or emotionally. Hi, I live in Texas. I just graduated and I'm going to retreat today. Yay! High school or college? That's so exciting. What are you doing in your life next? Ariana Cabrera. I love Ariana Grande. That's what I think of. Hi, from the Philippines. I really need to go to the Philippines. Oh my gosh. Okay, someone was saying they're from South Korea, and I was talking about different airlines that I like, and I was gonna say Korean Air is the absolute best airline in the world. I'm so obsessed. I flew them to and from Thailand one time, and they would be coming down the aisles constantly, giving you wine and water and, you know, face wipes and lotion, and literally just so nice constantly. It was the best experience of my life, Korean Air. So definitely. Does Korean Air go to the Philippines? Probably it does. I'll take Korean Air to the Philippines. What was the weirdest penance the confessor gave to you? So I personally really liked it, but I think a lot of people would think that my parish is kind of weird because, you know, California, but my first confession, my priest said to just spend time outside and look at the flowers and nature and the sky and just pray and enjoy God's nature. So I think that is like, I love that, and that's my priest, and that actually really represents my relationship with God, where I'm very like connected with God in nature in my prayer. But I think that more traditional churches, it's very much like pray a Hail Mary, pray an Our Father. But my experience in confession is they're pretty much like pray about these things, just go pray however you want. So yeah. I've never had anything intense, like go apologize to this person, although I always want to apologize after confession, right? Someone's deleting stuff. Thank you guys who are moderators. You guys are amazing. I think I've made enough people moderators in the different times when I stream, so you guys are always on it. Don't be rude. South Korea, do we have any other K-pop fans in this live stream? I love K-pop and K-beauty, right? Going to my first traditional Catholic high mass on Sunday, and so excited. I've been going to Novus Ordo for the past year after conversion. Your first ever high mass. I feel like so, what is the word? What is the word when you feel like spoiled? Spoiled, because there was a Latin high mass with music right in my neighborhood in LA for a year, and I would go a lot. And in Florida too, like 10 minutes from my house, so. I hear a lot of people where they don't live near Latin Mass, and it's the most special thing to get to go, and I don't even have that experience because it's like walking down the street, so it's so amazing you get to go. I feel like a lot of people who go to Latin Mass regularly, I wish they could like exude, feel your emotions, because so many people I know who follow my videos, they'll say like, my first time going to Latin Mass, I wish I could go, so that's so exciting. Are you gonna veil at Latin Mass? Are you into that? Hi from Arkansas, hi! So when I was Church of Christ, which I still identify as Church of Christ a lot, it's so bad. I'll be like, we when referring to COC, because emotionally I still feel like connected to it, right? Which kind of makes sense. Anyways, Searcy, Arkansas was Harding University, the biggest Church of Christ school. I applied there, and they kept wanting me to attend there over Pepperdine, even though Pepperdine was way cheaper. Like Pepperdine gave me 10,000 more, like 10,000 cheaper than Harding. And they were like, please come to Harding, and it's like, you're so lower ranked than Pepperdine, why would I? Yeah, anyway, so we love Arkansas and Church of Christ. Hey, beautiful. Hi, Julius. Hi, Angelica. Oh, sorry, I already saw you. I totally will veil. Okay, so I don't know if this is a thing, but I heard that there's like white and black, and it means different things. Does that make sense? So, like if you're single, you wear one veil, and then if you're married, you wear a different color. which kind of makes sense. Like I see that as being really having a lot of utility, you know, when your whole town just goes to church together and you can see like who's taken and who's not. Hey Liz, why didn't you convert to Catholicism, and do you Catholic is Christian? Yes. Catholicism is Christianity. It's the most pure core form of Christianity. I got suspended on the last day of school. Is that a real thing? Because I mean, you weren't gonna come to school. Are you joking? Or did they actually, like, you did something and they're like, you're suspended, but like it can't follow through? That's kind of funny. Jesus doesn't care what language mass is said in. Yeah, obviously he doesn't care. Me, I was a fan of black metal and I almost became a Satanist. But listening to K-pop made me think that what I'm doing in my life during those times is all wrong. K-pop changed me. That's amazing. Music is so powerful. I've never heard someone's experience with K-pop like that. Who are your favorite artists? Natural Hariyama. One of my best friends from high school was really into this one band. I forget what they're called. Do you go to Latin Mass? No, I did in like 2017. And then I would go to sometimes, but my biggest thing is that online there's a lot of people who are like trads. Some people think that's derogatory, some people don't, but I'm very chill and balanced in my beliefs. So the fact that there are so many people who predominantly go to Latin Mass and have these really super fundamentalist, extremist, almost Protestant interpretations of church documents, it just makes me not want to like be around those people. I know that sounds horrible, and the people I know at Latin Mass are not like that, but it's kind of given me this stigma because of what's happening on the internet. And like an example, and I know this is really offensive, but it's exactly what's happening. So people will take a church document, and just like how Protestants will take a verse in the Bible, take it completely out of context and just like word for word apply it to now and not see the big picture, a lot of people who are Latin Catholic will look at some church document from like 1600 and then apply it to today without seeing the full context of how the popes have talked about the issue from then forward, you know what I mean? New dogmas, new church documents. So, and a lot of, this is probably, I shouldn't be saying it, like this is probably really offensive to people who like Latin Mass, but this is just like the reputation that happens online. Also, there's a lot of people who think that Latin Mass was in the 1st century, that we had like confession with a thing in the 1st century, that all the prayers, that's exactly how it was, that the priest faced the altar, and it's like, no, all these things were created in the Middle Ages. You know what I mean? The high Middle Ages is when a lot of the aesthetic parts of Latin Mass came about. And when it comes to beauty, like aesthetics, I am not a, what is it called? Objective. I don't believe in objectivity when it comes to aesthetics. I think that when it comes to liturgy, we want to collaborate with you. We love tattoos. This is semi-ink. Not that, okay, a company wants me to do a sponsored video with them. Tattoos. Should I get a tattoo, guys? What do you think? I think I should do like my subscribers vote for my tattoo. I think that'd be a cool video.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's your name?
We need help, you know it, because we're trying to get her out. Where you flying to?
I'm flying to California.
Oh, you going to Orange County?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get on this flight, y'all. I'm going to take care of y'all, because I see she got a lot of followers. Come on, your people following you?
Yeah.
God. Y'all follow me too. Check me out on my YouTube channel, Keep It Real with Fields in the Field. And we can keep it real, all right? Y'all need help, call me.
Thank you for being in my vlog. I should interview strangers more often. Most people don't do that. Can I please get a shout out, GC Hernandez? Do you believe works save you? Absolutely. Okay, the thing is, there's not a dichotomy between faith and works. That's like the biggest issue with understanding Catholicism. People make these dichotomies, and like there's so many Bible verses where God is working out his salvation through us. So that'd be like disconnecting. Like anytime I'm being so patient and kind, loving, pouring into someone, that is my flight boarding. Okay. I just missed my other flight. I like am so paranoid. So I feel like I shouldn't say I'm so paranoid because that's schizophrenia. Do you guys ever think that so many of the phrases we use are mental illness terms that might be offensive? I don't know. Anyways, so there's no dichotomy between faith and works. If we read New Testament, God is working out our salvation through us. Any work we do is intrinsically linked with God. The Greek word faith, pistis, means entrusting your life to God. It is not a mental assent to an idea. That's completely wrong, fabricating the original meaning of faith that Jesus meant. That's an Enlightenment invention. It's wrong. If you want to go by the Bible, faith is intrinsically intertwined with works because faith is an action. Faith is actions of entrusting yourself to God. Separating it is bizarre and was not created until Protestants, you know? I like to go to the Latin Mass now and then, but yes, it does attract some unforgiving people who come across. Yeah, and it honestly isn't everyone, like most of the people I meet at Latin Mass, it's honestly just a lot of families and, oh, my friend just texted me. It's honestly just a lot of families and people with like 4 to 5 kids, and I think people who are more liberal Catholics like don't realize that if they want their like aesthetics or perspectives or politics to be put into the future of Christianity, you already lose when the trads are having 6 kids each, you know what I mean? Like, they're passing on their ideology to the world. I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel, This is Giovanni, or podcast about the Eucharist. Do you have any advice as a YouTuber? Editing videos and other tech stuff seems a bit scary since I'm not tech savvy. I use Final Cut Pro X. It's only like $100, I think, and then you have it for life. Maybe it's, I don't know, best investment I ever did. It was like buying myself a toy. It's so fun. But I don't know, podcasts, I have no idea. I kind of want to start a podcast, but with YouTube, it's really luck to get views and to see what picks up the algorithm. But posting every single week, at least twice a week, is really important, just because if someone has watched your content recently, YouTube will share the content again. But if you go long times without posting, then YouTube will not notify your subscribers, which, guys, make sure to turn on the notification bell in the subscription and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you can get notifications when I upload a video, because YouTube will not notify you every time. How long have you been live streaming? Just for 16 minutes. So I'm gonna stream until my flight, which, what time is it right now? It's at 11:30, so yeah, we can keep streaming. We can talk about whatever you guys want. Hey Lizzie, I find what you say is interesting because I'm a former Catholic turned evangelical, so it's fascinating seeing your reasons to become Catholic. That's so crazy. Did you grow up in Catholic school? What was your experience with Catholicism? Your videos about Catholicism really generate a better understanding of the early church. You're great. Christos vos Christi. Why do I not know what that is? Jeff, but most people I meet who are ex-Catholic, I talk to them about like really basic things like apostolic succession, and they're like, I never heard of that, I never knew that, I was never taught that. Like, all the people I know who grew up Catholic and don't attend Mass, they don't know fundamentals of the faith. Do you? I think it's interesting. Giovanni. But Giovanni, when it comes to editing, if you just do a lot of pre-production, I do so much pre-production. Sorry, this is shaky. I do so much pre-production in my channel. Like, most of my videos are scripted. I have research, at least bullet points, so you know what you're doing before you go into the video, and that reduces editing. So I practice in front of a mirror, out loud, what I'm saying a ton of times. I write, when I'm writing video scripts, I talk as I'm writing it, so I know what I'm saying, and then you go into the video already knowing what the video is, and then you have minimal editing. So yeah, it's Greek, right? I know, but vos Christi, nos Christi, Christos no Christi. Christos nos Christ is the Paschal greeting. Okay, I'm horrible, guys. This is embarrassing. Google AdSense, check your recent payment. Okay, it's so exciting to get paid. It's so nice. I don't like hardcore Latin Mass Catholics, but I don't like uber religious no Catholics, which I see a lot of.
Nice meeting you. Tell your followers and make sure that you follow me.
Okay. Are you traveling? Yeah. So if you just got here, one of my friends is getting married in California, right near where we went to college. So that's happening on Saturday morning. So I'm gonna stay with my best friend, and then we're gonna get ready together in the morning. So it's gonna be really, really fun. Catholic education is pretty weak for most Catholic kids. Lots of us don't really know our own religion. Yeah, and isn't that horrifying that these people are going to a Catholic school, and so they have the ability their entire life to be formed and educated in philosophy and theology and truth. And then we're completely messing up that opportunity. It's just the most horrifying thing. I don't even know how it's possible. Like, I'm shocked. I guess they just don't have training for the teachers. You are a very beautiful girl. Thank you. I was filming earlier, so my makeup is on point. Hey Lizzie. Hi Regine. My mom homeschooled me in a traditional Catholic setting, and she said she learned more than all 12 years in a Catholic school in the 80s. Absolutely. Good morning, Lizzie. Good morning, Ren. Where do you live? What time zone are you in? God bless you. God bless you. It's Slavic, you're right. Oh, okay. See, that makes me feel better. Can you talk about the sources you send to your non-Catholic friends? So I actually send my videos to my non-Catholic friends. I'm not kidding. Like, if someone asks me an in-depth question and I made a video in detail about it, I'm gonna send them the video, you know what I mean? And I feel like I can explain things in a lot of detail when it comes to just basics, but it's really good to send YouTube videos. I also really like the USCCB, the United States Council, the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. If you just Google USCCB and any question, they have amazing articles going in depth into different topics, and then Catholic Answers as well, and then books as well. Like, I've started gifting books to my friends who I want to convert, so. And I have my Amazon wish list, so I'll link that below once this video is live. But my Amazon shop, I have tons of theology books, so just buy people books for birthdays or Christmas, you know. BC, Canada, 7:43 a.m. So I have a question about Canada. So I know you have 6 time zones and we have 4, correct? But do you call your time zones the same as we do? So it's 7:43 a.m. So right now you would be in Pacific time. That's what Pacific time is for the US. Because I feel like I communicate with people from Canada for work, and I use American time zones and they go with it, but am I being really like American centric? Hi Lizzie. How are we forgiven when we go to confession? I'm having a hard time understanding it, although I've done it many times. So in John, this was a scripture reading like 2 weeks ago at Mass. Jesus says, this is before Jesus ascends into heaven, he's speaking to the apostles. He says, peace I leave you, peace I give to you. Peace I leave you, peace I give you. If you forgive the sins of them, they are forgiven. If you do not forgive their sins, they are not forgiven. Verbatim. This is what Jesus says to the apostles. If you forgive their sins, they're forgiven. If you don't forgive them, they're not forgiven. And that's when Jesus breathes on them and gives them the power of apostolic succession, which is to become Jesus physically in confession and when being the priest during Mass to consecrate the Eucharist. So this is biblical. I think confession is one of the most biblically based Catholic truths. I mean, even more so than the Eucharist. Like, yeah, the Eucharist is super explicit, like eat my flesh, drink my blood, but this is so objective and blatant and obvious. Jesus is saying, you will forgive their sins. You have the power to forgive their sins on my behalf. So that's where it comes from. And then everything else, you know, in church history and in the early church, they had group confession. I was telling my friend this, who I was just staying with, because I went to confession when she was there. So I was talking about how it is and stuff for me. And I was like, yeah, if we went back to the 2nd century, we'd just be sitting in a circle and confessing. And she like looked horrified because she's way more introverted than me. And for me, I go to therapy a lot, so I'm very used to like opening up to strangers and stuff. But for people who are more introverted than me, it's like not chill. I've talked about this a lot with people. So I love going to therapy. I'm an extrovert. It's very easy for me to open up to strangers. So for me, confession, like, yeah, it can be nerve-wracking sometimes, but it's normally like a really, you know, fun, normal thing, because I like opening up to people and being raw and vulnerable. But people I know who are not therapy people, like, hate it because it's so different than your personality. But I think that before Freudian and modern psychology and everything, that's what confession was, right? That's where healing is, you know, in the confessional. And I'm not at all saying I'm against psychiatric treatment or talk therapy or anything, but I think Regium Croatium Rex B and Regium Croatium Rex B and H. I am trying to get into a university in Tuzla. You live in an incredible country. Wait, where do you live? Did you read Dr. Taylor Marshall's Infiltration? Is that like a blog post or a book he read or a book he wrote? I should read his book. I really like him. Lately, I'm just doubting it will forgive me, but I want to go and be forgiven. You're doubting? See, I think that this is a heart issue where you don't believe you are worth being forgiven, right? Because in the resurrection accounts, objectively, Jesus died for us, he rose for us, we die in our sin, baptism forgives us of all our sins. So it seems like not a theology problem for you, but an emotional problem. So you feel like you don't have like the self-worth to be loved in that way. So yeah, that's something you need to look inside yourself, like who made you feel like you're not worthy of being forgiven and loved and known regardless of who you are. Because that's not coming from God. That's not God's voice. It was a book he wrote. I should read his book. That'd be actually really cool. LOL, I'm totally a therapy person too. Yeah. Like some of my friends, I like didn't realize this until pretty recently that some people are not therapy people, because like I went to therapy a lot in high school and stuff because there was a lot of like tumultuous stuff at home and my bipolar was coming out. And so I like really loved therapy as high school, early college. And so I would recommend some of my friends like go to therapy, thinking like so good intentioned. And some of my friends like hated it and refused. And so I realized over time that it's not for everyone. Some people just don't do well. I have trust issues with my psychiatrist due to being over-drugged when I was younger. No kidding. I had somebody brought to me to a psychiatrist 3 years ago and I refused to go on treatment for my behavioral issues. Yeah, I mean, it's really scary thinking that, I know for me, I experienced that my personality completely changes depending on what medication I'm on. And I know that I'm very vocal and assertive and fighting against my psychiatrist. I do my own research before going into the appointment and I tell them to decrease my dose if I want to. And if they refuse, if they want to put me on a medicine I don't want to be on, I leave them and find a different doctor. So I'm very assertive and fighting about it. But I totally get that, especially if this happened when you were younger, you feel like, yeah, because then, like, if that happened to me now, it's like, okay, I'm an adult, I'm consenting to this, but if you were not consenting to it, and then they took advantage, over-medicated you, I can't imagine how that would feel. Ugh, I hate it. But I recommend just fighting, and telling them what you want, and then decreasing your meds if you don't like it, you know what I mean? Like, I have this one medication, Seroquel, and my psychiatrist is like, you can go up and down depending on what you want. And she's really chill and is like, you know, people with bipolar don't want to be over-medicated. Like, you don't need to be over-medicated. So I think you just have to find the right doctor. A lot of psychiatrists are super full of themselves, though, and they don't like criticism. It's like, are you serious? Like, medicine is not black and white. I am converting. This is Rachel F. I'm converting to Catholicism, but I'm wanting to tell my Pentecostal family. I think either you write me like dozens of comments and messages, or there's so many people who are Pentecostal background, one of the two. Do you think that's okay? I just want them to see I'm becoming closer to God. I'm a former atheist, then I want to explain. Yeah, I think absolutely you should tell them. That was my biggest regret in my conversion, that I kept my parents out of it for so long. I think that it would have been helpful if I shared with them along the way my journey, and I think it's the most beautiful thing for you to be honest with the people in your life about the most important, like, spiritual, emotional, intellectual leaps you're making in your life. So absolutely, the more honest and open, the better. And I think that definitely approach it with a lot of delicacy and gentleness, and I would pray so much for yourself to just be protected, because I know I was so hurt feeling rejected by my family in that regard. But yeah, like, if you're courageous and want to talk about it, that's amazing, and ask them questions too. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing with anything. Instead of like lecturing people and telling them what to believe, ask them questions and get them to the point of truth. Does that make sense? That works better. Haha, my church has tons of former Pentecostals. Thank you for the advice. Yeah, Pentecostalism and Mormonism is fastest growing churches, right? Oh my gosh, guys, so I was gonna do a collab video with these two Mormon missionaries because I ran into them in the park. And we set up to film and stuff, and then they were like, oh, we talked to our coordinator and we're not allowed to be in YouTube videos. You have to talk to corporate, basically, is what they said. Isn't that so funny? So yeah, I was gonna make a video like 13 lies Christians believe about Mormons and make it like a reducing stigma type thing. But yeah, that didn't happen. So if you have any other Mormons, I just thought it'd be cool with the Mormon missionaries because they have like the elder or whatever, you know what I mean? I just thought it'd be an interesting video. Love your ministry, Leander Flathers. You are a phenomenal witness to the faith. Thank you so much. I love how you die. That's the thing about Delta too, they have outlets. It's kind of cool. Okay, time zones in Canada. Pacific, Mountain, Central, Atlantic, and Eastern. Question. So, is Atlantic in between Eastern? So is it like Eastern, Atlantic, Central? Because we have Eastern, Central back to back. So is it like Atlantic is east of Eastern, right? Because I feel like I've heard that. That was my intuition in my mind, that it was like more towards Europe. Haha, my church has tons of former Pentecostals. Hi Lizzie, John here from the UK. Just wondering, what is your thoughts on the Catholic head covering for girls in church? My mom loves it and says it helps her grow in this faith, but my sisters hate it. I hate it just because I don't like things that are aesthetic. So if something is just like, oh, it's beautiful, oh, it's meaningful just to be beautiful, like there's not any like depth theological truth in it, then I don't really like it. So I think that from an aesthetic standpoint, oh, it's nice to have a veil, that's beautiful, but the entire point of veils in the early church, the reason women are supposed to be veiled is because having your hair out like this was extremely seductive and immodest and paganful. And so it's just a modesty thing. It's the same way when we go to church, we don't wear like our shirts off in swim trunks and flip-flops. Like we dress up when we go to church and we look nice, and we don't wear like, you know, stripper costumes to church. So that was the whole idea, to like be modest in church. And so the whole idea of it doesn't exist anymore in our culture. Like does it make sense? Like it was for that culture and it had a meaning. But today, it just doesn't have that same meaning anymore. So for me, I don't care about stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's aesthetic, but like, what's the point? You know what I mean? If something is just cute, I don't like it. I mean, it's good that some people like it. That's the thing. Like, if you think it's cute and you really like something, that's good. Because like I was saying earlier, there are not objectives when it comes to aesthetics. But for me, I feel like subjugated if I wore a veil. Like, I was going to buy a veil, but realized I only wanted it to look pretty. I knew I was doing it for the wrong reasons. Interesting. So you think that if it's just cute and aesthetic, that's wrong? I would like to know, what is the whole point of it then, if it's not just supposed to be cute? Because it's not signifying we're not in a pagan cult. It's not wanting to come across like you're not a prostitute. Like, I don't understand what the purpose of it is, right? No mini skirts in church, absolutely. Okay, so you know how people say I dress immodestly? Which I don't. Like right now, look at this, guys. I'm wearing like a normal shirt that's completely covered up, yoga pants. Some people would probably have a problem with, but it's the airport, right? So, oh, I wanted to show you guys, I always travel with a pillow. It's like the best thing, it's so cozy. So anyways, someone was talking about like their modesty standard, that every time you wear something, you should be able to genuflect going into the pew, and your shirt, like you can't see your cleavage through the shirt when you do that, and your butt is not hanging out. Like you're able to genuflect in a way that like your shorts don't show your butt, and like, you know what I mean? And I was like, all of my clothes fit that, literally all of them. So, but I guess that doesn't cover crop tops, which I wear sometimes. You look like you're about 19 years old. Oh my gosh, it makes me so happy. I want to be young forever. I'm getting wrinkles, guys. I hate it. I hate it so much. Some people say they feel closer to God and more like Mary. I just thought I'd look fancy. Haha. Yeah, exactly, because everyone else is doing it, so it's cool. I don't die. That's my real cover. Thanks anyways. Lol. Women wear headscarves at church. I was going to buy a veil. Oh, I already read that. Hey, Lizzie. Hi, Victoria. Close to Eastern, Ren. Darnell, how do you make small churches grow? I've been going to a small church, and it hasn't grown past 16 members. Oh my. Hey, guys. I don't know why. It just, like, stopped streaming, and I thought there was no way to get back to the other stream. So it's back now. I don't know if there was like a long period of it being interrupted, but I kind of gave up. And then I was like, oh, maybe there's a way to get back on the stream, but yeah. Okay, it's back, yay! So I guess it won't resume from where it started, my Keilahe. So guys, tell me what you're doing in your lives. Like, where do you live? Do you go to school? How old are you? What are you studying? What's your job? Are you in a relationship? Are you in love? Do you use dating apps? Do you have a pet? Tell me, guys, tell me about your guys' lives. I'm interested, you know. It gets so, I'm 11 years old. It gets so boring sometimes talking about myself. You guys don't understand. That's why I was trying to do the Mormon interview thing, because I did an interview with Catherine Hadro from EWTN, and it was so nice doing interviewing and not talking about myself. Like, it was amazing. So I want to start not doing. I'm 11 years old, 17, Bosnia and Herzegovina. How do you pronounce that? LOL, I'm in college, engineering major for now. I live in Austria. What year are you in college, Callista? What is Austria like? Are you guys socialist country? Do you have good healthcare? I feel like everywhere in Europe is more socialist than here. I super love socialism. Because we are a democratic socialist country. So just finished my freshman year. Oh, that's so fun. I'm in the USA. I live in Minnesota. I'm 16. I'm homeschooled. My temperament is melancholic. Yeah? Okay, that's a real thing. I'm so happy you've heard of that. So it's like dysthmic, euthmic. Euthmic is DC visiting two of my friends who live in Virginia, DC. So I was there for like a week and a half. And now I'm flying back to California. And one of my friends is getting married. It's gonna be so exciting. I'm so tired. I haven't slept. Now you have no sound? What? Can you guys hear me? There's literally no sound. I don't know. I can't hear you. I don't know. Am I back? Okay, I love DC too, but it's so expensive. And the airport. So I spent the night in the DCA airport, not like sleeping, but I like filmed. Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna love my video. I did it about these liquid biotin hair things. So I take this liquid biotin, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but my hair has grown so much from taking the, like, it's like a liquid thing, like an inch per month. My skin completely cleared up, my eyelashes and nails so long. So I'm making a video explaining liquid biotin, and I filmed it in the DCA airport, and it's such a good shot. Like, I was so amazed by it, because I was going around trying to find a good shot. Hi, Vincent. You need to chill a bit, because you're like calling me on Snapchat and messaging me. So like, I have so much happening in my life. Again, lost the sound. Weird. One time after confession, I had to pray a rosary and buy flowers for someone. See, I wish the prayers were more creative. That'd be so cool, right? I can hear you now. Praise the Lord. Anyways, DC, their airport is intense though. So the flight I missed left at 6 a.m., which means that it was like closed at like 5:45 a.m., right? So the airport opens at 4:30 a.m. So the line is packed because it's all these business people getting ready for their corporate meetings later in the day. And so like there are people who missed the flight who said they were at the airport at 4:30 and weren't able to get through security. So I think they need to open 30 minutes earlier. I love the song you sent me. I listened to it all day yesterday. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I knew you would love it with your music taste. So freaking good. I've been finding, I went a long time without listening to Christian music, and now I'm kind of getting back into it. So, because it's crazy how much music affects you. Like, it's so subliminal, but yeah. Do you like Bosnia and Herzegovina and Medjugorje? Medjugorje, so many people I love are obsessed. I've heard so many stories. So, my flight is super boring. I'll do a video chat later. But not, I'm so busy the next 2 days, right? Because I have a wedding, and then I have to move my stuff, and then, yeah, a lot of stuff. But, oh guys, so one of my best friends from college, one of my guy best friends, I'm visiting for 2 weeks in August. I just figured it out. So I'm kind of, for the rest of summer, so I'm gonna stay in California for a bit, and then I'm gonna travel every 2 weeks to visit different people. So where are you off to? California. My friend is getting married. We were freshman year sweet mates back when we were 18. Now we're all turning 25. It's crazy. So, and one of my friends was in Uganda for a year, and so she's finally back, and probably her husband will come too. So it'll be so cool reuniting with everyone. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we will start checking roller bags to your final destination.
So that means there's too many. What crucifix do you own? Oh, I'll show you guys. So Trevor got me both of them because I hate violence, right? So I would never like buy it for myself. And this actually has a special meaning to him, and he gave it to me. So yeah, and now I carry it around, and I feel like I fully understand the meaning of Christian art carrying them around, because it's like I travel everywhere, and yeah, I can go to a Catholic church wherever I am, but it's so cool having it with me. And I just like have it out like next to my computer when I'm working, or like on the dresser, or like in my makeup box, you know what I mean, just there, and like you have physically there. It's really cool. And then this one I like too. Jesus is just hanging out. So this is my favorite. That's so good. They're wanting to report on sex slavery because it's a thing that happens. Yeah. Do you own a St. Benedict one? I only have these two. You are pretty. Thank you. I'm so tired, guys. I'm gonna sleep on the airplane. And then I'm gonna edit my biotin video when I get to my best friend. I love Latin Mass. Me too. It's so pretty. It's so cool too that for like 1,000 years, all Catholics went to that Mass, you know? It's just so cool to be part of something that people like across centuries, vastly different cultures and languages have all connected with. It's really special. I also like how the church has its own language, you know? Because it's like every country has their own language, and we have Latin. I just think it's really cool. Because like everything is in Latin, all the encyclicals and stuff. I think it's super cool. What are we at? We are at video rebuttal, but some people were really mad that I didn't like talk to him first about it. And I feel like people saying that don't understand YouTube. Response videos are a very normal part of YouTube. And I remember someone saying like, if someone made a response video to you without talking to you, wouldn't you be really offended? And I was thinking, no. If I'm wrong, make a response video and make it public so everyone can know that I was wrong, right? So I don't know, I'm not a very sensitive person, so maybe that's my issue. Cause I don't know, I feel like some people who watch my videos don't watch a lot of YouTubers, and you're just like, oh, I watch some Catholic videos, but YouTube response videos are very normal. And I don't typically do as many response videos just because, I don't know, it's just not the kind of content I want to make. I'd rather just focus on like topics I'm talking about, you know? But I made one response video to this other like Christian YouTube channel. When is your birthday? July 22nd. I'm turning 25. What should I do, guys, for my birthday? I'm gonna do a like weekend trip with some of my friends, because one of my other best friends, her birthday is the day before mine. So, well, but we'll be like kind of birthday twins, but kind of not. Okay, so I'm packing up my stuff. What time is it? I feel like the flight is boarded. Aw, congrats, I just took this flight. Delta, where is my, did I lose my boarding pass? Oh, I found it, okay. This is me flying, I always lose everything. Okay. So you guys, so I'm putting my crucifixes in my purse, yeah. And my phone. This purse I use for traveling because I go like that so no one can steal my stuff, you know, and it's like against me. So you always have to be prepared for criminals, right? Always. Okay, so this bag is so, this is why I love Victoria's Secret. Their travel bags are so good. I've traveled with this for years. I put my computer in it, so many books, it never breaks. So it's really good. Okay. Oh, I'm so tired, guys. I want to sleep. I haven't taken my bipolar meds. I need to do that. Just because one of them is sedating, so I always forget to I have two different ones though, so I could take the one that is the Lamictal, but I forgot, so I will get some water on the airplane and then take. So this is the Atlanta airport, if you didn't know. I love the Atlanta airport. It's probably, it might be my favorite, yeah, it's definitely my favorite airport, just because I would always lay over here when going to and from Pepperdine, because where I live in Florida is close to Atlanta. Also, Atlanta is, I think, the biggest airport in the US, and it's used for the military a lot. So the one thing I don't, so I guess it's just like a familial thing, but they have a really good vegan burrito place here, and they have this other store where everything is $10 and they have cute bracelets and stuff. So, shopping. But I think just the Southwest terminal is the one I really liked. So this is the Delta terminal, and there's like trains and stuff. I had no idea. So
security alert.
Finding out so many other
control of your bags at all
parts
times and report any unattended baggage or suspicious activities to the nearest law enforcement official.
214,000 watching, but only 30 watching. YouTube is strange. The reason my channel was like this is because I went like months and months without uploading, especially when I was in depression. But even throughout college, I would just not upload for several months if I was studying or when I was in Thailand. So the way YouTube works is they don't give notifications when someone uploads a video. And so if people were subscribed to me and then I don't post for 6 months, I lose all of those subscribers. YouTube never notifies those people. So it's funny though, I was talking to my friend Liz about this a week ago, and I was explaining to her the algorithms and how YouTube doesn't show your videos to people. And she's like, but I get a notification on my phone every time you upload. Like from when we were like friends in college like 6 years ago. So she has the bell turned on. And I was like, that's amazing. Most people don't have the bell turned on. So it was just so funny, like her experience. She always sees, and she was like, I always see your clickbait titles. They're so good. What do you think about Bethel Church? Is that one of the non-denom churches? Do you go on pilgrimage? I feel like whenever I travel, I look at the Catholic cathedrals and churches, so that's kind of pilgrimagey, right? God bless you. Is there a place to send you a gift? Oh, that's so sweet. No. I used to have a P.O. box at Pepperdine, and I probably will in the future, but it was just a huge hassle getting a P.O. box, so... And I don't know, there were a lot of issues too, because I'm very paranoid about, I don't want to say paranoid because that's like bad for schizophrenic people, right? Anyways, I'm very scared about safety, which I should be. And it was kind of like if I get a P.O. box in my neighborhood, people still know my neighborhood. So like even the city where I live in LA, like LA is huge. No one knows anything, and that's good. So that was my thing. Okay, let's go, guys. I'm gonna take you onto the flight. What if I vlogged my entire life, guys? I'm back. My Wi-Fi was down. I have the bell turned on. Yeah, you guys should all turn on the notification bell. Where are you going to now? I'm going to Orange County. Actually, a lot of Catholic speakers live in Orange County. Like, everyone does. Patrick Coffin, Emily Wilson, Jackie Angels. I'm pretty sure like so many people live there. You should go to Abba Marija in 2020 to see what?
Reporting all cabins,
The
welcome
Passion
aboard.
Play? I feel like I wouldn't like that. I do not like violence. I'm just not chill with it, you know? You should go to Quebec, lots of old churches, but no one goes. Yeah? Do you live there or have you gone?
Thank you very much.
Come back here.
Chapman? You guys know my identity now? Yeah.
Currently boarding all cabins, welcome aboard.
I had notifications too, but YouTube unsubscribed me out of. They do that all the time. They unsubscribe people and turn the bell off. It's crazy. You should. Okay. Hi, Cupa. Miss Rize, I was wondering if you've moved to your new living place yet. Just curious. So I actually have not decided where I'm gonna live. I'm just traveling for summer. So I'm staying in LA for a month, and then I'm going to just be on the West Coast, East Coast, staying with different friends every 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, eventually I need to find a place to live, but I don't know. It's like a big choice deciding where to have an apartment and stuff. Are you okay? You look so skinny, not healthy. I am okay. I have a really high metabolism and low, small bone structure. A lot of people when they meet me in person are like, I'm shocked how tall you are and how small you are, just because I think it doesn't show up on camera, but I eat a lot of food, like 2,500 calories a day. So yeah, it's just my bone structure, but I eat a lot. Caitlin, hi. So sorry you missed your flight, but I hope it goes well. I'm sorry we couldn't hang out. I was getting so stressed. I was like, I had a long list of things I needed to do for the day, and it was just like, I wasn't getting to them. And then, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't text you. I was so stressed. Oh my gosh. And then I left my passport, so I'm glad I got here. They're not letting me go through.
Passenger Corral, France, Jasper, Vanessa,
I mean, I knew your identity when I first found your Instagram and YouTube from a while back. Yeah. I mean, some people do, but yeah. You doing IRL in LA, in real life in LA? I am in Atlanta right now, but yeah. I should just stream around. If you're coming to Orange County, sorry about the printer, guys. Is everything okay? Yeah. Thank you. I wish I could show you guys my driver's license picture. It's so cute. I like it.